What's up, sorry about that. What's up, everyone? This is a strange case of Sean here in another live stream. Yes, my third live stream in 1 week. I'm going to be talking about my review for WrestleMania 41. I'm going to get started with this 8-person no disqualification elimination match just as a background match to have on while I talk about my reaction slash review of both nights of the show. So I'm going to get this started with the entrances, and while that's happening, I'm just going to get the link up on my socials, so if you just hang tight with me, I greatly appreciate that, and we'll get started momentarily. Thank you so much, and we're going to get started with these entrances.
The crowd on their feet.
The following contest is an elimination match. Making his way to the ring from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, main event, Jey Uso.
Under the brightest lights where main event Jey Uso most belongs. Look at this. The crowd's hyped. Jey's hyped. What an unbelievable atmosphere. Well, Jey has made it to the top of the mountain, and he's never coming back down, especially not on a night like tonight. And I'm ready for a WrestleMania-sized yeet. The crowd is on their feet for Jey Uso. Michael, they're not just on their feet, they're all yeeting. It's Tiffy time.
And from Prior Lake, Minnesota, the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton.
An elite gymnast turned WWE superstar, Stratton turns heads with her prettiest moonsault ever. Just an undeniably impressive athlete, Stratton mixes acrobatics and power to jaw-dropping effect. Tiffany Stratton is so much more than just another pretty face. Behold, a superhero come to life. One of those monumental acquisitions in WWE history.
And from Orlando, Florida, Jay Cargill.
Jay Cargill is like a superhero come to life on the grandest stage of them all. She looks like a superstar. She moves like a superstar. She commands attention like a superstar. Jade already has a major WrestleMania win to her name, and she's just getting started at the showcase of the Immortals. The powerhouse, ready to go to work. And the scary thing, Jade makes it all look so easy. Here comes the Samoan Werewolf.
And from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Hatu.
You are looking at the new enforcer of the bloodline. It's almost like a trained wolf that hunts down any prey and tears them apart.
And Jacob has strength, speed, and aggression unlike anyone else in WWE. And guys, the Samoan Werewolf is about to be unleashed.
Unfortunately for the opposition, there is no silver bullet in sight. Seth freaking Rollins has arrived.
The outfits, the outrageousness, there's nobody like Seth freaking Rollins.
And from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth freaking Rollins.
Gentlemen, the choir has never been louder than on the grandest stage of them all. A man with no shortage of ego, but it gets even bigger come WrestleMania.
Successfully cashed in his Money in the Bank in the main event of WrestleMania back in 2015.
Yeah, Michael, but Seth has also seen a share of misfortune at WrestleMania, courtesy of Cody Rhodes. Yeah, but tonight, the visionary turns that WrestleMania luck around. Here comes the ultimate third-generation superstar, the true future of Lucha Libre.
Come on, look at this piece of human garbage. He's mighty pleased with himself already.
Oh, come on, Cole. You'd be pleased, too, if you lived the life of Dirty Dom.
And representing the Judgment Day, from San Diego, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
It is truly inspiring to see a hardened criminal reformed and shining on the grandest stage of them all. Oh, that's just ridiculous. But Dominic has quite a bit of WrestleMania experience at such a young age.
Teamed with his father in his very first WrestleMania match, competed against his father 1 year later.
Major moments for sure, but he has still yet to earn a victory at the Showcase of Immortals. Well, a win tonight will make him the top of Cell Block 6.
Can you believe the audacity he has to continue to call living legend Father Rey Mysterio a deadbeat dad?
Who are you to deny just get beat up.
The genius of the sky has landed.
And she is taking aim at her next victim.
And representing Damage Control from Tokyo, Japan, Io Sky.
Whether it was Japan, Mexico, or WWE, Io's dominated wherever she's competed. Io Sky's become more powerful as a member of Damage Control and became an eliminator for the group. And they, in turn, have raised her to the level of Miss Money in the Bank and the WWE Women's Championship. A woman who can take out all competitors from the air, but is more than happy to break the rules as a backup plan. And utilizing both strategies has quickly made her one of the top competitors in the women's division.
Here comes the personification of longevity and hard work, the 16-time world champion.
Not just a 16-time world champion, a Hollywood phenomenon, and a man who embodies the meaning
And
of
their opponent
superstar.
from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, the undisputed WWE Champion, the greatest of all time, John Cena!
Without a doubt, one of the greatest competitors in WrestleMania history.
There's a reason he earned the name Big Match John. Second competitor to ever reach double-digit wins at the Showcase of the Immortals.
In fact, many would say one of the biggest wins in Cena's WrestleMania career is when he defeated The Rock at WrestleMania 29 for the WWE Championship.
In an 8-pack challenge, the rules are simple. 8 superstars in the ring together, but everyone for themselves. First fall to the finish via pinfall. Submission wins it. The potential for chaos is, to put it lightly, very high. Hoist it up. So what's your count? Then we see Stratton. And pops the shoulder up. Overzealous cover here. And he doesn't stay down for long.
Not even close. He gets around the attack. Headbutt.
Vicious. Getting tossed around. Not the prettiest thing you'll ever see, but it sure looks effective from here.
And a human being can only be spiked like that so many times before they're ultimately down for the count.
Producing a trampling. A reversal. Well scouted. She's starting to feel the effects of this attack.
The unpredictable nature of this match can help turn the tides, though. Across the top rope, all the way to the floor.
And Io gets reversed. Dominic perked up top. From the top. And meanwhile, Dominic, even in every superstar for themselves situation, a alliance like that can be key.
Kick out at one. I can't believe the ref didn't get two here. A warning and a challenge from Mysterio. Able to evade the clothesline with their pinning combination. Shoulders are down.
All right, I think we are good to go now. So thank you so much for waiting patiently for me to start the stream while I got my socials up. We're still working out the kinks here for that. I will be having the episode of My Rise Undisputed coming up later this week, probably Thursday. But I want to digest the events of the weekend and get started with, or I should say, not get started with, I should have started getting with, never mind, digesting the events of the weekend. So right now, we're just watching an 8-person, no disqualification elimination match in a Wrestlemania arena. I will have that credit in the chat soon. I believe it's SSSS Wrestling, 4 S's, and then Wrestling for the WrestleMania 41 arena. So like I said, thank you so much for joining the stream. Whether you're live, whether you're coming back to it, I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the card starting from night 1 all the way to night 2, talking about my feelings about the match and whatnot. First, I just want to say that night 2, I felt blew night 1 out of the water. I'm going to talk about my favorite moments, favorite matches, MVPs of the night, and whatnot. So let's get started. Night 1 started off with Jey Uso taking on Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship match. This was a solid match. Very slow-paced, I thought, though. I found myself kind of tuning out at times. And I thought Jey relied on the spear too many times, which I get. It sort of takes down Gunther, the quote-unquote unstoppable champion. And I say quote-unquote because I don't understand why Gunther gave up so quickly. To me, it goes against the image they're trying to portray Gunther in. And honestly, his Intercontinental Championship reign is better than, or actually was better than his World Heavyweight Championship reign. But regardless, Jey Uso is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He's insanely popular. I'm a fan of Jey Uso, and it makes a lot of sense. I just want to see some more creativity, I guess, in his matches. I just felt not a lot was done in that match, especially for the opener. I'm going to come back to this, but the Night 2 opener match blew this one out of the water. So that's my feelings on Jey versus Gunther for the World Championship. Congratulations to Jey Uso. Working hard for many years. He did really well in the Bloodline storyline and has become a star. So congratulations to him. Number 2, New Day takes on the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Another solid match. New Day needed that victory, and I'm very happy they went with them. Viking Raiders and New Day are both 2 solidified teams, and I feel the Viking Raiders have kept their momentum and their popularity for where it has been. I feel like they've been good at a level. Meanwhile, New Day had their turn on Big E. Hold on, I hear an echo on my end. New Day had their turn on Big E, and nothing really capitalized on that. I thought this did that. New Day did some underhanded tactics to get their victory and are now tag team champions, historic 13th time. So I did appreciate that. No offense to New Day, no offense to the Viking Raiders. I would have preferred the triple threat TLC match that they're planning to have on SmackDown this week on the Mania card instead. I don't really understand why that match was not put on the card, because I felt like there were some matches that could have been replaced with that, including this Tag Team Championship. Again, I don't mean any ill tidings towards New Day or the Viking Raiders. I like them both, but the TLC match would have been better, I thought. Next, on to I repeated myself there. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I was actually quite impressed with this match. Naomi's always solid in the ring. I know Jade's fairly new to wrestling, coming from AEW and it's WWE. But again, I thought this was very solid, and I thought it was a sort of defining moment for Jade. That like transition she did into the that power bomb, that was sick. And Naomi made Jade look so good there, and I was really impressed with this. I didn't have much intrigue into this match, but I was very impressed by it, so kudos to both women. And Naomi showed you she can carry a match. She's a veteran, and it showed right there because it was a great match there. So well done. Speaking of defining moments, next we go into the United States Championship match with Jacob Fatu winning the United States Championship from LA Knight cleanly. There was no Tamatanga. There was no Solo Sikoa. I was quite surprised there. Jacob Fatu won clean. I couldn't believe it, actually. Not that Jacob Fatu is a beast. He's probably my favorite. He's probably my favorite main roster star. I knew he could have beat LA Knight, but I just thought they were going to do something with the bloodline sort of screwing over Jacob Fatu, whether it was intentional or not. But there was only Solo during the entrance, and Jacob Fatu picked up the victory. Another defining moment. Jacob Fatu is going to be a future star of this company. He's going to be a future WrestleMania main eventer. I can't wait to see. Hopefully he has a really good title reign. Hopefully they continue telling a story with LA Knight trying to dismantle the bloodline some more. I just thought the bloodline was going to be breaking up sort of at WrestleMania 41. Granted, we still have Raw before Mania. Granted, we have SmackDown after Mania. We'll see what's going to happen there. But I was very happy with this. So I would say matches 1 and 2, I would say for me, started off sort of slow. But then match 3, starting from Jade and Fatu, it started, and Knight, sorry. And Naomi, can't forget them all. Was starting to pick up there. Next, we had El Grande Americano taking on Rey Fenix. It was supposed to be Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio unfortunately got injured on SmackDown in a match the night before his match at Mania. I don't understand having matches with the WrestleMania competitors, at least high risk that way. I mean, I guess injuries can happen anytime, but someone like Rey Mysterio, who brings in a lot of eyes and a lot of casual fans know him, it was a risky move there. But we got Rey Fenix in there, short notice, but they put on a great match. Solid match there. I really thought this Grande Americano was going to end there, but it didn't. They also announced here this is where AAA, the wrestling company, was acquired, and they showed Vikingo in the crowd, which I was nobody saw WWE buying AAA coming. I don't care what anyone says. There was nothing, at least I saw, on dirt sheets or anything saying that WWE is going to buy AAA. Dirt sheets, where were you on that one? This is why I don't put any trust into any dirt sheets. I see it when I believe it. Versus someone can message me and say, oh, did you see that WWE is buying TNA? Yeah, let's see if that happens. No, wait, WWE just bought AAA. Come on. So, sorry, I just got to say this, that really just wait for WWE, wait for TNA, AAA, whatever you want to say. Wait for someone who's directly related to the story to confirm something versus just trusting these dirt sheets. They just want clicks, and when you give them that one click, they don't care if it's truthful or not. Sorry, that's just my opinion on that. But Grande Americano got involved with Vikingo, and that was cool to see. I don't know what the deal is sort of happening. Like, if it's going to be sort of like WCW, where some contracts, where WCW in 2001, when contracts are coming over as well, if they're going to keep some people, not keep some people. Like, I think a couple months ago, like, Alberto El Patron was suspended by AAA. I don't think WWE is going to pick up that contract, but then I think they want Vikingo. Um, I don't know too much about AAA, but I think it's pretty exciting that they're doing this. We'll have to see what's going to happen with it. I'm going into it with positivity. I think it's going to be a good thing. And I hope fans of AAA are going to be just as excited to see them, their stars, their fan favorites, get featured on another program that way. I hope it's going to work out. They also announced an event, Worlds Collide, where it's going to be NXT versus AAA, which that's going to be really cool to see. But back to Grande Americano and Rey Fenix. I was hoping for Grande Americano storyline to sort of end with like Rey Mysterio sort of maybe like unmasking Chad Gable to show that's been him, and then sort of end it because I'm kind of over this feud. And I guess I thought Rey Fenix would do that too, but I guess maybe they're going to see if Rey Mysterio's injury is super serious or not. But Grande Americano defeated Rey Fenix, and then Vikingo came in to aid Rey Fenix, like as he was recovering from a diving headbutt with a steel plate in his mask. Like I said, I was hoping for Grande Americano to be done with, but alas, we're still getting it. All right, match 6, we had Tiffany versus Charlotte. This was my match that I was looking most forward to, and it was fine, but it was quite clunky. They did not mesh well, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm just recollecting my thoughts. Like I said, it felt a bit clunky at times. Like they didn't really have much chemistry with each other. It definitely came across that Charlotte was being a little bit more rigid and sort of sandbagging Tiffany. But Tiffany held her own. Held her own towards Charlotte, and Tiffany looked beat up after that match. I was like, ooh, there were some definite stiff shots in there, whatnot. Let me get some other WrestleMania people into here. Another match here. Greatest of all time, John Cena wins here too. Funny enough. Tiffany looked quite messed up after that match, and I mean, I don't know if they both went into business against each other. I don't know if let me go here. It was quite the show. I mean, it kept my interest. Like I said, it was a fine match. It was definitely wasn't the match of the night, but it was quite the spectacle. And there was not even like a thing on Charlotte's end like that. She just walked out of the ring, if I remember correctly, and then it was just sort of just like, okay, that was it. There was no like real blow off. I'm really curious if Charlotte was supposed to win originally, with like Tiffany being the the heel, and Charlotte being the face, and then it's the internet just sort of turned it, the IWC, whatever you want to call it. It was quite something to see. Now let's go into the triple threat match here. Trying to think about who else was on the show. Oh, that's something to say, right? All right, so the main event, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, who we just saw in that last match. This, for me, was match of the night of night 1, followed by Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Bianca Belair was there too. It was awesome. There was great storytelling in here. And I was expecting some more grand entrances, honestly. I feel like we didn't get all too many grand entrances. There was no like one entrance to me that I was like, wow, this was something. And just to fast forward to night two, like Logan Paul's entrance, I was like, this is the best we got. I don't know. I'll put Grande Americano in here. I'll put that credit into the chat as well. Um, and then we had, oh, by the way, Karrion Cross's promo that was like either last night or today, insane. I hope it was a work shoot. I hope it's they're gonna make something out of it because Karrion Cross is a talent, and I think I said that's in my previous stream that he is for sure gonna can do great things. Who was on this card? Why can't I think of it? Uncle Howdy, I wish. Can you return tonight, please? Wade Barrett did a fantastic job on commentary. Um, you know what? How about Xavier Wood? Oh wait. Oh, you know what? Let's put Naomi in there. I did give her flowers. All right. We got Naomi. We got Naomi versus Charlotte versus Bianca versus Punk versus Roman versus Rhea versus Gunther versus El Grande Americano. Breathe. Okay. But back to the main event. Oh no, Roman's gonna get beat up. Ah! Meant to do it as a just a spectating thing so I can focus on talking. All right, Roman's gonna get beat up a little bit. Oh, he recovered anyway. But it was awesome. Great storytelling. I was expecting some more great entrances. Roman's was even not really anything. Seth Rollins just had the flamethrower and then went from a black outfit to a white outfit. The only thing I thought about with the flamethrower was that maybe he is going to be involved somehow with The Rock. But as seen online, there was no Rock to be seen. And then Punk only had the video package. Okay, he had living color play. That's something, but not something we haven't seen before. We saw that at previous Mania already. But I guess you can call that the grandest entrance. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I called it. I think a lot of people called it. That Heyman was going to turn on not just CM Punk, but Roman Reigns as well and align with Seth Rollins. I'm just curious how long they have been in cahoots for. I'm hopeful we get some answers tonight on Raw. One thing I did notice was when he betrayed Punk, he was quite upset with himself. He was saying, like, you could see the anguish in his eyes when he betrayed Punk. And then Punk was taken out, and then when he was he turned on a dime there with Roman, where he was like right back to Roman, hyping him up, and then as soon as Roman was taken off guard, that's when Heyman betrayed him. And then Heyman didn't have like the, oh, why'd I do that to him too, like almost like that he was being forced to betray them both by Rollins, because that was going to be possibly Rollins' favor, but Heyman was more than happy to do it. He was quite upset, and you can see that with his delivery of the low blow onto Roman. But great ending to night one. Like I said, the triple threat match I thought was the match of the night for night one. And I'm excited to see what the story is going to be with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. My gut reaction prediction will be that Seth Rollins eventually becomes Undisputed Champion or WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And this is going to stretch all the way to WrestleMania 42 with Roman winning the Royal Rumble to go on to challenge Seth Rollins. That's my initial prediction right now for where the story is going to go to. Because we need to see a payoff between Roman and Seth constantly being at each other's throats and whatnot. And I think that is where it's going to happen. All right, just had to test my mic again there. I was getting some feedback on there. So now we're going to talk about night 2. Like I said, I thought was the more superior night. We're going to start with Io defending her championship against Rhea and Bianca. This, to me, was match of night 2. This might be even match of the weekend. This is arguably one of the greatest openings of WrestleMania history, too. I don't know if it's at Owen or Brett, but is definitely up there. It hit me in this match that it makes sense for Io to retain. In my predictions, I'm going to be posting later on, I chose Bianca to win. I thought they were going to put the title on her to move Jade into there, and they were going to start their feud there, but they didn't. They went with Io, and then mid-match, it sort of hit me that it makes sense for Io to win here. Because Rhea and Bianca were pushing her aside. They both stiffed her in the face. They kept ignoring her. Really, they were not worried about Io Sky come this match. And little did they learn that Io Sky is a force to be reckoned with in the women's division. There were some great false finishes, and I was smiling ear to ear with this match. I mentioned some great false finishes. I'm just curious where each person goes from here next. I think Bianca and Jade are going to go into their feud. I don't even know if they're going to have a feud, but I just picture that happening. Jade sort of like getting mad at Bianca for not checking in on her and whatnot. Rhea, I don't really know what Rhea's going to do next. Maybe she's going to start her solo feud with Io, possibly. I'm not sure. The one thing I think about for Io is for Asuka return. If she's healthy enough to return, if she's ready to return. I'd like to see Damage Control take Io out and sort of make Damage Control back to being like a heel group and going from there. That's the one thing that I can see. Next, we're going to talk about the Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. This had some good entrances. I thought they were kind of mid, to be fair. Besides Kerry King and Slayer, that was sick. I know there were some reports saying that Slayer was going to perform, and I was kind of like, how when Slayer doesn't perform Damian Priest's theme song? But getting Kerry King in there made sense to do the guitar for Priest's song, and that was cool. McIntyre needed that victory. It was a very fun, violent match. McIntyre definitely needed that victory. I really like Priest. Like I said in my stream, that Priest has been on fire lately. You know, he's become a solidified star. And not that Drew McIntyre is not, but sort of similar to the New Day. Drew McIntyre needed this victory. He needed I don't want to call it a defining moment. But Damian Priest has been a bit of a thorn. And Drew McIntyre needed to take care of it. And what better way to do this than the Sin City street fight? So, enjoyed that match very much so. The Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. Very fun. Finn made a very big rookie mistake by taking out Dominic before delivering his coup de grace on Braun Breaker. I get it. I'm sort of mixing kayfabe without kayfabe, but I just feel like that's a detail that should have been thought about more. Finn being the veteran in that match, both as a ring general in his wrestling career and Penta, you can call him a veteran too. Maybe not WWE veteran, but a veteran nonetheless. Finn should have waited for Dominic to hit the splash, and they should have done the coup de grace on Dominic to then pin him to become champion. Rookie mistake on Finn's end. I know that's not the finish. Back off. I still think Finn will be kicked out. I think Finn's going to complain to the Judgment Day members tonight, and they're gonna be like, "Well, we should be happy. Dominic has the Intercontinental Championship," and then he's gonna get kicked out. That's just my thoughts. I'm seeing so much positivity and so much praise for Dominic. They're like, "Oh, you deserve it. Oh, you should be champion." I don't agree. I am not a fan of Dominic Mysterio. I'm not saying anything about, like, he was getting such babyface reactions at Mania online. I'm like, he's supposed to be a bad guy, and like, it's not like go away. It's not like that kind of a deal. I think he's a bit overrated, to be honest with you. The Dirty Dominic prison stuff started funny at first, but now it's just like, we're still doing this. I don't know. It makes sense, the pairing of Liv and Dom, because I don't like the pair of them. And to that point, I'll give him credit. But I just am not into this whole Dominic story character at all whatsoever. One way I'll be into this is if, like I said, if Finn Balor becomes a face and we get Finn winning the Intercontinental Championship from Dominic. Who knows if that'll really happen. I just see saying, "Oh, Dominic's improved so much." Yeah, he might be getting better, but I just don't think he's as good as people say he is online. Yeah, maybe he can get booed and everything that way, and that's great and all, but like, I find his mic time quite boring. In ring wise, I don't really see anything too impressive from him. I'm not really trying to crap on Dominic here. I'm just like, I just don't get the whole praise for online, to be honest with you. That's all. But nonetheless, congratulations to Dominic becoming Intercontinental Champion. Next, we have Randy Orton's Open Challenge. I gotta say, Joe Hendry was a great surprise. Not gonna lie. It was very unexpected. I don't know if this counts towards my predictions or not, because technically I made it without Randy Orton having a match. And I put Randy Orton in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. But like I said, Joe Hendry being the surprise opponent. Great viral moment. This is sort of what Cross was going against, though. And correct me if I'm wrong, though, but did he say something about wanting to be Randy's opponent? He didn't want to be Randy's opponent, but I guess people were saying it online. I don't really know. I wasn't even thinking about Karrion Kross being his opponent. It could have been cool and all, but with the sudden change in plan because of Kevin Owens' injury, a surprise opponent like a one-off against Joe Hendry, like a debut or return, made more sense in this position. Having Randy Orton, and Randy Orton can win this match, and it really doesn't deflect or negate anything that's on anyone that's in WWE currently. It works well with the TNA partnership. You got the TNA champion on WWE's biggest show of the year, and they had him wrestle in a real match. This was not a squash match. A lot of fans are like, "Oh, TNA's buried. Oh, I cannot believe they did that to Joe Hendry. Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world." It was not that way at all. Joe Hendry got his licks in. It was a brief match, but a job is getting one RKO and getting pinned. Joe Hendry and Randy Orton had a match. Was it a short match? Yes. Was it a 5-star match? No. But it was still a match. Joe Hendry, I don't want to say it's competitive. I don't want to say anything like that. Like I said, it's not a 5-star competitive match, but they had a regular wrestling match. And I can't imagine anyone really expected Joe Hendry to defeat Randy Orton. Randy Orton's 20th WrestleMania, and the moment with Joe Hendry doing the taunt to the crowd, turning around, getting that into the RKO, cinema. That made so much sense. It was a great moment. It was everything it needed to be. So before we get mad about Joe Hendry getting buried, that was not a bury. Randy Orton won the match, and that's what it was. Nothing more, nothing less. It was exactly what it needed to be. Now, let me get another one of these up here. Not Halloween Havoc. We're going back to WrestleMania. Yes. Okay. And then I'm just gonna finish up my prediction, or sorry, not my predictions, my review. But if you're watching this, like I said, I appreciate you coming on here and checking this out. If you enjoyed listening to it, please leave a like. Please subscribe some more. I will have a My Rise video up soon. Hopefully Thursday. I want to shoot for. I'm gonna work on some more while I'm watching Raw. Yep. Okay, so let's put in some people that I wanted to see on Mania that maybe couldn't be on it or for whatever reason. Actually, no, let's get some other people in here who were on the show, but I haven't. I had Eric, Ivar. Let me get Eric. Where are you, Eric? Not Eric Rowan. Oh, I wanted Uncle Howdy on the show too, though. Okay, let me see. Oh, Logan Paul, AJ Styles. We're gonna talk about them. I'll put them in here. Oh, New Day. I'll put New Day in here too. I know my letters. You know what? Yeah, let's do Kofi Kingston. Let's do Xavier Woods. And you know what? Let's get some. Okay, you know what? All right. You know what? Logan Paul, get out of here. We're gonna put. Yeah. You know what? I'm actually saying it. I'd rather watch Liv Morgan. Um, and we'll do. All right. AJ, I'm gonna bump you because I'm gonna put the women in here. So, sorry, AJ. No offense to you, bud. Let's put Lyra in there. We're gonna put Raquel in there. I made it elimination, right? Okay. Okay. And then returning Becky Lynch, which I'm going to talk about the Bailey Becky thing too when we get to that. I'm going to try and get this done before Raw, so because I want to pay attention to that too. Apparently, John Cena is ruining wrestling, and I really want to know what he means by that. So call me intrigued by that. Oh, it's going to start with Ivar being a player. I didn't mean to do that. All right. So we finished. We finished talking about Randy Orton and Joe Hendry. Again, great surprise. And I don't pay attention to any of the dirt sheets and news stuff around Mania time because I like to be genuinely surprised. So if someone called that, kudos to you. Great job. Yay. I didn't see anybody calling Joe Hendry. The names I saw come up were Nick Aldis, Aleister Black, or Rusev, and none of those happened. So, well done for that secret being kept by Joe Hendry. Next, let's move on to Logan Paul and AJ Styles. It's all right. Logan Paul proves he has what it takes to be a wrestler. It's very hard for me to invest in Logan Paul matches. And I think he was kind of a waste for AJ Styles. Unfortunately, this match was very hard to keep my interest because I don't know, something about AJ Styles, his run as of late has been very deflating. I don't know if injuries have been scrapping like it's like start go. Triple H mentioned that on his the press conference, like his start of his final run. I don't know if that had something to do with it. And then Logan Paul, I have my own feelings about that, so it was all right. Moving on to the tag team championship match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defended their championships against Lyra, and it was supposed to be Bayley. But apparently the plan was to take Bayley out and replace her with Becky Lynch. And while I'm a huge fan of Becky Lynch, I really like the man, I feel bad for Bayley. And Triple H said, don't worry about Bayley, she's going to be just fine. I mean, I would hope so. I think Bayley's a great talent. I think Bayley can play a heel or babyface, and I think it was just a shame that we put her in the match, announced for it, and then took her out just to replace her with Becky Lynch. I get the whole Mania moment with Becky returning for it, but I just feel at the cost of Bayley, it's unfortunate. And even Lyra, you know, I was like, I said to one of my friends, oh, you know, why wouldn't they take out Lyra, you know, make it a little bit more like, Bayley and Becky, NXT, reuniting that way, taking on the Judgment Day. Someone said that, my friend said that, yeah, but Bayley would want Lyra to have her moment. Bayley's had WrestleMania moments. It's like, that's true. And if Bayley was willing to do that and is okay with it, then I'm okay with it. If she feels slighted by it, I feel sorry for her. I hope WWE has stuff in plan for Bayley come the rest of the year as we build to the next WrestleMania. I thought Becky possibly could have been saved for Raw or SmackDown. Maybe even like Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez winning the match against Bayley and Lyra, and then like taking Bayley out after the match somehow, or if Liv and Raquel won with heel tactics, and then Bayley and Lyra wanted a rematch, and then they took out Bayley on Raw to then have Becky return. That would have been cool in my book. Especially when you had to replace Rey Mysterio and you had to replace Kevin Owens because there were injuries. I don't know. I just felt that could have been done differently. Austin, Stone Steve Austin, oh my gosh. During his whole segment, I just kept thinking about how he crashed into the barricade. And then after the show went off the air, someone was driving Dominic from not the press conference, but like the control center, whatever you want to call it, and they hit a fan too. I don't know what was happening there. Austin just announced the attendance, but I just kept thinking about them hitting the barricade and then Nick Khan going over to the barricade. I'm not going to comment on the whole, she faked the injury or not. I know I've seen some stuff online that way. Let's just say this. It could have been a whole lot worse, and thankfully I've heard nothing too terrible come out about it, but that is Austin's done that many times. That's the first time I've ever heard of him crashing into a barricade, so, accidents do happen. I hope, if that woman did get hurt or anything, I hope she's okay. If she's not, then that's one hell of a story. But anyways, on to the main event. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. This match was simple, and this match, to me anyways, was mid. I felt sort of, after Logan Paul and AJ Styles, the card sort of went flat after that. It was kind of a clunker of a match, too. It was simple. I don't know if I was expecting a 5-star match out of Cody and Cena. I don't know if they're saving stuff for SummerSlam or another show. But John Cena wins his historic 17th World Championship. And I'm very happy about that. In my stream, I made changes to... I was originally going to pick Cody, but then I was like, it makes more sense for Cena to win. So I'm going to pick Cena, and my prediction was Cena, and I was right. I think a lot of people are right, and I knew my friend who was at the show said that the crowd came unglued when he won. Um, the strangest thing about this match was Travis Scott. I don't know much about Travis Scott. I know who he is and everything that way, but I don't know much about him to the regard about. I know how insanely popular he is. I know his status. I know those things. I was waiting for The Rock to come out. The fact that it was Travis Scott that sort of quote unquote screwed over Cody is very odd to me. And I get it's John Cena as well. And John Cena's already a big-time player. I was waiting for The Rock to come out. I was waiting for Travis Scott not to be able to get the job done, like let's say the Crossroads, and then I was waiting for the final boss to come out. Or like some people were saying, thinking that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman were going to get involved in a line with John Cena or something that way. I was waiting for that to happen, and it didn't. So for me, the moment of Cena celebrating his 17th championship victory, getting that historic win, to me just fell flat because of that. And I gotta say, and I think it's really only because of the lack of The Rock. I don't think Travis Scott ruined that moment. I know he was at Elimination Chamber. I was just waiting for The Rock to be there too. Like, we know Travis Scott has some alliance with John Cena and The Rock. But Travis Scott's not a wrestler, and Cody Rhodes took him out. And then John Cena did his heel tactics to win. Now, I get that. 100% get that. But Cody also stopped in his tracks to resort to the same way John Cena did. He was like, come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. And Cody Rhodes could not bring himself to do it. Which, after what happened at Elimination Chamber, makes no sense to me. You think you'd want to be so mad at him, he's so mad at The Rock, those kind of things. You think he wouldn't care at all about taking John Cena out there. And knowing Super Cena, he would have kicked out of it probably anyways. So the match could have come on, and Cena could have still won. So, I mean, if it was Travis Scott and The Rock, a joint effort taking out Cody Rhodes for the championship, then so be it. The celebration shot of it being like sort of John Cena and Travis Scott walking out of Mania without Rock, it's just weird to me. That's all. I don't care about celebrity involvement. I'm fine with it, especially after Bad Bunny. Like, he was awesome during his stint, and I hope to see more of him. Travis Scott apparently wants to do more in WWE, and I hope to see that too. I look forward to that, but like I said, I just want to see, I want to see a collective effort, not just John Cena and Travis Scott. Collective effort, whether that is The Rock too, whether that is this alliance. We're going to see what happens on Raw tonight, because it says it's going to ruin wrestling. I don't know what that's going to mean. They're hyping up some sort of tease for a reboot or something that way. I don't know exactly what to expect, but it should be interesting. Yeah, I see. Go back to the Austin thing real quick. I see the debate online about if the woman's feigning it or not. I mean, let's just be aware that this could have been horrible, and I'm just happy that nothing too atrocious happened that way. It was quite scary to see, boom, hit the barricade, but let's just be thankful that nobody was super seriously hurt. And I think the fan that got hit at the control center with the golf cart, I hope they're okay too. I hope everyone's okay. Well, that does it for my review of WrestleMania 41. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave... I can't talk. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Looks like Ivar is dealing with the women of the Judgment Day, and looks like it's going to be ending. Let me know in the comments how you think this match ends out. Stay strange, stay awesome, and I will see you in the next video or the stream. Like I said, later this week I will have episode 6 of My Rise out. So be sure on the lookout for that. Enjoy the Raw for Mania. I hope you enjoyed WrestleMania. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I appreciate all the support. Stay strange, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.